If you're watching this video, it's already 2025. Welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. It's been almost a year since I last created a video. But before I get into the reasons why I took a long break, I would like to reintroduce myself to any of the new subscribers out there. My name is New Wave Rocker J. This is my channel where I like to talk about anything that's on my mind. And if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell as well so you know when I make a new video. In my last video, I was talking about my return of Saturn. I turned 30 last May, and your 30s is a time where you're supposed to already know who you are and what you want out of life. 2023 and 2024 were very tough years for me. I experienced a lot of changes during those years. It was a lot of stuff that I needed to reflect on, that I needed to work on myself. I'm getting used to my 30s, which I hope will be a lot different than my 20s. And I'm looking forward to whatever happens next. Today's video is going to be 100 random facts about me. A while ago, I made a 50 random facts about me video. For all you new subscribers who don't know much about me, I'm going to offer 100 interesting facts about yours truly. The first random fact about me is that I'm a native New Yorker born and raised in Queens, so I've lived here my entire life. I'm of Mexican and Dominican descent. My dad is from Mexico and my mom is from the Dominican Republic. I started making YouTube videos in 2007. That's a pretty long time. I didn't make YouTube videos where I showed my face. I would make A&Bs about anime. I'd also make funny videos, funny joke videos. I was a really bored kid in my middle school days, and that's what led me to YouTube. It was a hobby and then it became a passion, and now I'm making videos face to face. I am an ambivert. Realize now that I'm kind of a mix of an introvert and an extrovert because it all depends on the situation. Some people I talk more than others, but if you're a stranger, then I'm definitely not going to speak to you. But if I know you for a very long time, I'm definitely going to talk to you a lot. I don't like tattoos or piercings. That is true. I will never get a tattoo. I will never get a piercing because it looks awful. I definitely do not like guys with tattoos or piercings. Like, that's a huge turn off for me. It just looks ugly. You're ruining your body with that kind of stuff. I love Thai, Japanese, Chinese, and Italian food. Those are like my all-time favorite cuisines. I can't imagine not eating any other cuisine than those foods. When it comes to politics, I am a conservative. I've always been a conservative. I don't remember ever being a liberal. I'm a huge supporter of Donald Trump. I voted for him back in 2016, and I also voted for him in 2020. My older sister and both my parents also voted for Donald Trump. A lot of people say that New York is a huge liberal state, which is true. There are also people who are conservative who live in New York City, but that's like a minority. But then again, it's best not to let politics get to you. My channel is not a political channel. If it was a political channel, I would be posting political content, but I don't do that. But I just wanted to get that off of my chest just to be transparent. I am a conservative. I always have been a conservative, and that's not going to change. I'm fascinated by outer space, UFOs, and aliens. I believe in all that stuff, like in Roswell and Area 51. I used to wear glasses since first grade before I got LASIK surgery 5 years ago. These glasses that I'm wearing right now are to protect my eyes from the blue light that emits from cell phones and computers. Once you get the surgery, you can see 2020. I was blind as a bat back then, but now I can see very, very clearly. I love mermaids. I've always loved mermaids. I think I am a mermaid because I love swimming and I love the water. I think when I was a kid, I wanted to have a mermaid tail. If I could live anywhere on the planet, it would be somewhere in the countryside. I was born and raised in a city, and I really don't like it. Like, I've grown tired of it. In the countryside, it's easier to live because you can grow your own food and you can raise your own livestock. I think the quality of life is honestly a lot less stressful than the city. I've never been to a wedding, and that's because I come from a immigrant family on both sides of my family. The majority of the people in my family got married via the law. They did not get married in a church or anything, so I've never really been to any kind of fancy weddings in churches or anything. But maybe in the future I might get invited to a wedding because I have a lot of friends that might get married in the future. I'm not sure. My birthday is on Star Wars Day. That's true. I have a very special birthday. I was born May 4th. I resonate with the Jedi side. I have one older sister named Jennifer. A lot of people think that we're twins, but she's the oldest. My Harry Potter house is Gryffindor. So I've done a lot of quizzes online and I've mostly gotten Gryffindor. I think I definitely do resonate with those traits of being loyal and chivalrous and being brave, basically doing the right thing. I'm a supporter of artificial intelligence. A lot of people hate artificial intelligence because they think that it's going to take over the world, it's going to take over humanity, which I honestly disagree. With everything that's new, there's always going to be pros and cons. I think that artificial intelligence is good because it can help us do a lot of things. It can help us do things quicker. I don't think artificial intelligence will replace humans because we're probably going to be in control of it. So I don't understand why people don't support artificial intelligence because it could make our lives a lot easier. And also, there's more access to information, and that would be good for us. That way we won't stay in ignorance for the rest of our lives. And at the same time, I'd say it's bad because people will be too dependent on it and they won't be able to figure out things for themselves. You can debate me on that. I might make a video about this in the future because artificial intelligence is going to be part of our lives in a few years. My natural hair color is red. My red hair comes from my dad's family. He said that his grandmother had red hair. She was of Spanish descent. I'm not sure if my mother's side also has red hair because studies show that both parents need to have the red-headed gene in order for it to show up in their offspring. So maybe my mom's side might also have that red-headed gene. I'm not so sure about that. That's something that I have to figure out on my own. I will never do drugs or hard alcohol. I've never been offered drugs. I've taken wine or I've taken beer on some special occasions. I honestly don't see myself living that kind of lifestyle. I prefer to be healthy. I'm a Taurus sun, Pisces rising, and Pisces moon. Those placements are kind of accurate. I do feel like I have some elements of water in my personality, and also I have that Taurus earth element which grounds me. Some of my favorite music genres are old school punk rock, new wave, alternative rock, Italo disco, reggae, Latin freestyle, and Eurodance. So I don't like to hear any other kind of music unless it's really good, but honestly I prefer to not listen to a lot of modern music. Some modern music is good, but the majority of it is bad, so I just prefer to listen to these genres. That's what I grew up listening to. I root for Team Black on House of the Dragon. I am on Rhaenyra's side. Even if she's flawed, even if she's a complex character, I go for Team Black. Not a huge fan of the Greens, except for Helena Targaryen. I do like her because she's a seer. She can see the future, and I think she's probably the only one that I actually like from the Green Party. Overall, I prefer Team Black. I've never been in a relationship or dated. It hasn't happened to me yet. Who knows? Someday. I love to write. Yes, I've always been a writer. Ever since I was a kid, I would write in my journals. A lot of my teachers have told me growing up that I was a very good writer. I still write to this day. Not as much though, but I have to get back on that. I'm a huge doll and action figure collector. I don't know if you guys notice in the background, you see that I have a lot of dolls and toys and action figures. And I collect all types of stuff from Funko Pops to Barbies to Brat, collector's dolls. And I also have a lot of plushies. I really don't want to be a hoarder, which is why I don't want to fill my room with so many things because that's just unhygienic. I can speak English, Spanish, and French. So I can speak those 3 languages. I also want to learn Italian, and I also want to learn Thai and also some Japanese. I've traveled to Florida 3 times. Florida is a really beautiful state. The sun is always shining and there's a lot of beaches and pools. I just love Florida weather and the people there are really friendly. I love Florida. I'm not a fan of Taylor Swift, Lady Gaga, Beyonce, and Jennifer Lopez. I really don't like their music, to be honest, and I think they're overrated and overhyped. I believe in ghosts, the paranormal, and things that cannot be explained by logic or science. Sometimes things happen for a reason and there's a deeper meaning behind that, and it has a lot to do with fate, the universe, just basically a lot of things that cannot be explained. Sometimes the truth can be stranger than fiction. Sometimes weird things happen. I don't know, you would have to be open-minded to understand that. I love coloring books. I know this is kind of like childish, but I think that coloring books can really help you. They provide a lot of relief, especially if you're going through a lot of stress and a lot of depression. My favorite Pokemon is Psyduck. And a lot of people hate Psyduck because they think that he's stupid. If you've noticed in the anime, Misty gets angry a lot at Psyduck because he doesn't know what to do. And whenever she puts him in battle, pretty useless, right? But in my personal opinion, I don't think Psyduck is useless, especially if you've seen him in the other episodes where his eyes turn blue and he does his little psychic move. It's pretty effective, so I don't understand why people say that Psyduck is a really stupid Pokemon. I think there's more to him than meets the eye. I don't have a middle name. My parents didn't give me a middle name. They just gave me the name Jessica and that's it. I love fragrances. I love smelling good. I rarely watch TV. I used to watch a lot of TV when I was younger because TV back then was worth watching. But nowadays, with all the streaming services, there's no point in watching TV. You know, just the content being redundant and boring. So I just prefer, honestly, to be on the computer. It's very rare that I watch TV, unless it's something important like the news. But overall, I don't watch TV anymore. I've never been inside the Statue of Liberty. The last time I was at the Statue of Liberty was back in 2002 after 9/11, and they couldn't let us go inside of the statue. We had to go to Ellis Island, and that was a bummer. But maybe one of these days I might go back to the Statue of Liberty and go inside and eventually get on top of the crown because I've never been there. I'm a native New Yorker and it's really embarrassing to have not gone inside the Statue of Liberty for so long. I bent my right forefinger dribbling a basketball when I was a kid. Forefinger right here is kind of crooked and kind of like weird looking because my parents bought me a basketball when I was younger. I accidentally put too much force on the basketball and ended up bending my finger. I can't whistle. That's true. I just can't do it. I can't do it. Other people can do it, but I can't. I'm 5'5". I'm not too short, but I'm also not too tall. So it's kind of like a average height. I like dance aerobics. Yeah, I think dance aerobics are really fun to do. They help you shed off those unnecessary pounds and they help you stay in shape. It's a lot of fun, especially when you dance to Euro dance. I attended a high school where a famous Marvel superhero studied and a punk rock band formed. And it's true, my high school is very famous. There's a lot of famous alumni that graduated from there. I'm not going to tell you guys which high school it is. Let's just say it has a lot of notoriety in Queens. My favorite Looney Tunes character is Tweety Bird. I love Tweety Bird. He's so cute. I really enjoyed watching the Looney Tunes when I was a kid back in the 90s, you know, the Saturday morning cartoons where Tweety Bird was always being chased by Sylvester because Sylvester wanted to eat him. I don't know if he's a girl or if he's a boy. That's something that I always wondered about. I love swimming. I've always been swimming ever since I was young. I first took swimming lessons when I was a teenager, and also I took a couple of swimming courses in college. I guess I could say I'm a pretty avid swimmer. I still need to brush up on my skills though, because I still think that I need to learn more. I believe in God despite not being raised religiously. Both my parents did not raise my sister and I with any kind of religion. I think they believe more in aliens. My dad comes from a Catholic background. My mom grew up with the Jehovah's Witness beliefs. The only thing my parents told me is that there's no need to go to a church to believe in God because God is everywhere. I've been to Mexico 7 times and to the Dominican Republic 2 times. I remember those family vacations that we had. If you're looking for a vacation getaway, definitely consider Mexico and the Dominican Republic because they have really nice resorts. They have really good food and really nice weather. I have very neat handwriting. A lot of people have complimented me on my handwriting and they said that it's really neat and it looks like a computer and that I should have my own font. I'm a tomboy, but now that I'm older, I'm learning how to embrace my femininity. Yeah, I've always been a tomboy. I've always been like a nerdy kind of girl. I've always liked both girly things and guy things as well. My favorite film genres are sci-fi, horror, comedy, action, and historical drama. Those are the films that I absolutely love. Those are the genres that, you know, I definitely go and see movies for. I like to create my own memes and laugh at them. In my spare time, I like to create these funny memes and I just like to laugh at them and like to share them with other people, especially my friends. I think shopping malls are boring. The era of the shopping mall was in the 80s and the 90s. Every time I go to a mall right now as an adult, I get very bored and there's like nobody shopping anymore. I think everybody's doing their shopping online. With the way things are, with so much inflation, people are not going to go to shopping malls anymore. I think that they're going to go extinct. One of the reasons why I enjoyed shopping when I was a kid was because the economy was good. Also because there was a lot of interesting things in the mall. Nowadays, it's a ghost town and I really do not find the point in going to the mall anymore. I'd rather get my stuff on Shein. I don't like to idolize people and I don't like people idolizing me. I've already mentioned a lot of times on this channel that you should never idolize people because they're human and they have flaws and they're going to disappoint you. I used to be kind of a fangirl when I was younger, especially with celebrities, especially with musicians. Nowadays, I'm kind of neutral. Even though these people might not be the best people, when you get to know them, their work is amazing. I don't really aspire to be like these people, like I'm inspired by them, but I really don't want to be like them. And sometimes you have to be your own biggest fan. People are human, people make mistakes, you just gotta be yourself at the end of the day and not aspire to be someone that you're not. I don't want other people idolizing me because I'm also human too. I just like to see things in a balanced perspective now. I've only been to Disney World once in 2010, and I will never go back to those parks except for Galaxy's Edge. So I went to Disney World when I was a teenager, and I went to Hollywood Studios. I didn't have a good experience, to be honest. It was way too overpriced, it was very overcrowded, and there were some parts that I did like the Toy Story 3 parade. I would only go there only for Galaxy's Edge because of Star Wars. I like Star Wars, so I would go there for the rides and stuff and to try out the really cool food. You couldn't pay me $1 million to go back to Disney World, especially Magic Kingdom or the other parks. I'm not really interested. I think I've outgrown that. I'm not a good teacher. Yeah, this is true. Like, a lot of people have told me that I could work well with kids. Honestly, I'm not a good teacher. I tend to get very impatient and I'm just not very good at explaining things sometimes. I would not make a good teacher. I prefer high-waisted jeans. Yeah, I always prefer that classic high-waisted jeans look. I think it looks classy, doesn't look trashy. I don't like low-rise jeans. They make you have like a muffin top and it just looks really ratchet, to be honest. I find TikTok really annoying. I never liked TikTok. I was there for about a year because of my buddy Roger, who is on TikTok. He enjoys it more than I do. But honestly, I don't find any point being there. I think 99% of the content is trash and 1% is educational. I used to be an avid gamer. I would play video games a lot when I was a kid. Whenever I would come back from school, I would just go on my PlayStation 2 and play all of the games. I've made video game content for this channel, and I also made a video a while ago talking about why I lost interest in video games. I just outgrew that hobby. I like to solve mysteries. I don't know why, but I'm drawn to people puzzles and I really like to figure out things. Like, I like to be a detective sometimes and like put the piece of the puzzle together and figure out what the truth is. I don't know why I like to do that, but just, maybe it's curiosity or something. One of my favorite paintings is The Scream by Edward Munch because a lot of people don't like this thing, but I do. I think it's really interesting. I don't know what it means. Maybe it's a state of shock. Maybe it's psychological or something. I don't know. I participated in a neighborhood protest. It was a neighborhood protest against a migrant shelter coming into my neighborhood. The neighborhood that I live in is a really good neighborhood. A lot of the people here didn't want that coming in. Usually what happens with migrant shelters is that they come in and they bring drugs and they bring crime. I participated in the neighborhood protest. Also, my parents were part of the protest and my sister, and we even appeared on TV, which was really cool. I haven't heard of the protest for a while now. I think that we won. If it's a victory, if we did win, that's awesome because we definitely do not want a shelter here. I blame Mayor Adams for bringing this upon us. If I had my own nightclub, I would call it UFO. It would be like an old school 90s Eurodance raver nightclub. I don't make friends easily. I like to have a very small circle of friends. Now that I'm older, I really don't want to make friends. It depends on the situation. If I really feel a connection with someone, if someone was willing to care about me and I was willing to care about them, it would be reciprocal. That would be great. But nowadays, I honestly prefer to have a very small circle of friends. And that's because of my trust issues. I sang in the school choir when I was in 5th grade. I used to sing in the 5th grade and it was a lot of fun. I really loved my music teacher. He taught us a lot of great songs, a lot of songs from Broadway, a lot of 50 songs too. I really enjoyed that class when I was a kid. I still own a VHS player and VHS tape. Haven't gotten rid of some of them. Some of them I have sold on eBay, but I still own a couple of VHS tapes just for memories because I still have cartoons there and I still have stuff from Toonami and from Nickelodeon. It's good to keep some of those things. I have scoliosis. When I was a teenager, I was diagnosed with scoliosis, which means one of my shoulders is a little bit higher than the other. I used to have like immense pain and I had to wear a brace and everything. Nowadays, I don't really feel that pain anymore, probably because I'm exercising more and I'm stretching my body out more. When I was a teenager, I really did feel a lot of pain in my spine. My favorite color is green. I collect vinyl records, which is pretty obvious because I've made videos on this channel talking about my favorite vinyl records. I was scared of the Walt Disney Animation logo as a kid. I don't know why I was scared of the blue castle with the blue background. Every time it would appear before a Disney movie would start, I wouldn't look at the screen. But nowadays, I just find it comical. Back then, I used to think that the castle would come and swallow me. I tend to get very impatient sometimes. This is a quality I don't like about myself. I tend to get very impatient because I want things now. I really want answers. But the thing is that patience is a virtue, and sometimes when you wait for things, you tend to get the right answers and you tend to get what you're looking for. So slow and steady wins the race. I don't like it when people stare at me intensely or stand too close to me. I prefer that people respect my personal space. I don't like people breathing on me. I don't like people looking at me because it's rude. I don't know, I just don't like it. I have a podcast called New York City Tales. Please check that out in the description box below. Benjamin Button is my spirit animal. The Curious Case of Benjamin Button is one of my favorite films, and I can definitely resonate with Benjamin Button because he was born old and then he became younger later on. He had quite a difficult life. He met a lot of really cool people. He ended up meeting his soulmate. The whole story is so sad. I don't want to spoil it for you guys. It's a really beautiful movie. It gives you a lot of life lessons, basically living life in the moment. I've never driven a car. I don't know how to drive. I've never taken driving lessons, but I really would like to learn how to drive a car and own my own car someday. I can't stand liars. There's a point in life where it gets a little bit too old to be dancing around the truth, and I think that's better to be transparent, just to make things simple and not complicate things. People think my older sister and I are twins. We're not twins. She's the oldest by 4 years. I love 80s, 90s, and early 2000s fashion. People back then, in those time periods, they had really good fashion sense. I feel like nowadays everything is recycled, especially in this decade. They're going back to the early 2000s, so the whole Y2K aesthetic is coming back. I would appreciate if people would make their own styles. Summer is my favorite season. It's the season where the sun is out all the time. You can relax, you can go to a pool. I like summer. I don't like eggs. I don't like the taste of it. I don't like the smell of it. I just never liked eggs. I'm very punctual. Ever since I was in school, I've always been punctual, and I think that's a very important quality to have, to always be early for things and not to be late. In 2022, I went to see Dua Lipa for her Future Nostalgia tour. I went to see Dua Lipa at the UBS Arena in Long Island. I actually have the vlog posted on this channel, and it was a really amazing concert. It was unforgettable, and I hope that she comes back for the Radical Optimism tour. I hate public bathrooms. I cannot stand public bathrooms. I think they're dirty. I think they're smelly. A lot of the times, they don't even clean that well. I made my first short film in the 7th grade. I made a short horror film back in the day when I was in middle school, and honestly, I think it was really bad. I actually threw it away. It was about a magical necklace. It was really amateurish. My classmates that were in that short film, they weren't really good actors. I just prefer not to remember it, to be honest. Some of my favorite book series are Harry Potter, The Hunger Games, and A Song of Fire and Ice. I'm a huge fan of these novels. If I had another job, I would be an astronaut or a DJ. I'd probably be out in space, studying the planets on a rocket ship, or I would be a DJ and I would be putting records, playing music for people at parties. I hate New York City buses and trains. Since I'm a native New Yorker, I know that New York City buses and trains are the absolute worst. They don't run schedule. There's always people fighting in them. Also, the fare has gone up. I just prefer to go walking or taking an Uber or getting my own car, to be honest. I am a college graduate. Yeah, I graduated back in 2016. I have a vivid imagination, but at the same time, I try to stay grounded. I have a really wild imagination. Like, I like to create stuff in my head, but at the same time, I like to stay realistic. I love baby chicks. I think baby chicks are really cute. I just absolutely adore them. Arrogance, pride, and narcissism in a person is a huge turnoff for me. So if you have any of these qualities, it's a no for me. I'm drawn to the 19 teens because in my past life, I feel like I was there. And it's true because I feel like I was alive in the time of World War I, at the time where silent film was popular. So every time I think of Mary Pickford and I watch her movies, like I feel like I was there. It's really creepy, but I feel like an old soul. One of my pet peeves are spoiled, ungrateful people. Yeah, I cannot stand these people. I think that life is too short to not appreciate your blessings. And even if my life is not perfect, I appreciate everything that I have. I've never gone to Europe or Asia, so that's something on my bucket list. My favorite film directors are Mel Gibson, Luca Guadagnino, Christopher Nolan, and Stanley Kubrick. I love all of their films. I think they're really good directors. I want to learn Muay Thai boxing for self-defense. I wonder if they actually have classes excuse for that because I would like to learn how to defend myself because the New York City streets nowadays aren't safe. I was a guest on a gaming TV show for 2 episodes. I lost, unfortunately. I didn't make it to the next round, but it was a lot of fun and I got to play the games like Mortal Kombat and Halo. I'm a computer nerd. I grew up with computers. I know how to use computers. Been using computers for a very long time, so I'm a computer nerd. I don't like to wear a lot of makeup. Yes, because if I wear a lot of makeup, I tend to get a lot of acne. Nowadays that I'm older, I prefer less is more. I don't like to wear a lot of makeup because if you wear too much, you look like a clown. One of my favorite snacks are lentil chips by a brand called The Daily Crave. This is one of my favorite snacks. I don't know if they sell them anymore. Probably on Amazon because I used to get them from Marshall's, but they probably don't sell them anymore. But it's a really cool brand. It's vegan. The chips are really tasty. They have Himalayan salt, and also in the back of the chips, they talk about conspiracy theories, especially like UFOs and things like that. People often mistake me for younger, even if I'm an adult. I've had a lot of 20-something-year-old guys try to hit on me, and then when I tell them that I'm older, they get like really shocked. Because of my genetics, I appear to be younger than I am, but the facts are the facts. You know, I'm an old lady now. I don't understand why I still get carded to this day. I went to see Finn Wolfhard's band CALPURNIA in 2018. That's also posted on my channel, and that was a really unforgettable concert as well. They played really good at the time. It's a shame that Calpurnia broke up in 2019. They really did have a future in music. Sometimes things don't work out. They have to move on to other things. I enjoy video editing. Yes, I love editing my own videos. I've been editing for a very long time, ever since I started my first YouTube channel when I used Windows Movie Maker, which is a really crappy editing software, but it did get the job done back in the day. But now I use something more professional. I'm a perfectionist. Yes, I am. I know that no one's perfect and that nothing in life will ever be perfect, but I tend to be a bit of a perfectionist sometimes because I really like to do things well and I want things to be done well. I like being independent. The way things are now, I really prefer to have my own space. I get to enjoy my freedom, and also I get to do the things that I want to do. Sometimes I think it's better to be alone because you don't have a lot of people bothering you, you don't experience a lot of problems, you get things done better that way. I really like being independent. I like doing things on my own. I like having my own money, earning my own money. I like doing things that way. So those are all the 100 random facts about me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed learning a little bit more about me, especially for those of you who are new subscribers. For what's to come on this channel, I'm not 100% sure, but I will continue to crank out content at my own time. It's probably not going to be frequently, but I will definitely try to make time to make more videos on this channel because it's been a really long break and I really want to post something on this channel. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.